The Accord on Fire and Building Safety in Bangladesh is an agreement that was reached between more than 180 global clothing companies and Bangladeshi trade unions after the factory collapse in 2013 that killed at least 1,000 people. And basically this agreement says that 1,500 factories will have a safety inspection to make sure that everything is okay and everything is in working condition. Well, as of today, they've inspected 1,106 of these factories. And would you like to take a guess how many of them aren't safe? 100%. Every single one of them has some problem or another. Quote, the inspections identified more than 80,000 safety issues ranging from the need to reduce weight loads to a failure to install fire doors and alarms, the failure to have protected fire exits, and the need to strengthen building columns. Worse, in 17 inspections, the structural integrity of the building was found to be below an acceptable level, leading the Accord to recommend a temporary evacuation. In another 110, it found that immediate actions were needed to bring the factories up to acceptable levels before workers could continue to work inside. So, here's the point to make about this. This could be over and done with, and all of the safety issues can be fixed within a month, okay? If American companies said, hey, if you don't fix all that stuff, every last bit of it, then we're going to pull out all the factories. Because you know what would happen next? Every single one of the factory owners, every single one of the higher-ups in the company in that area, the Bangladeshi government, they would all say, okay, all right, now we're going to go and make sure to fix everything to make it totally in line with objective health standards. Because they don't want to risk losing millions and millions of dollars of investment and companies that are there, all because they decided to force their workers to be in disgusting conditions. They would fix it immediately. Everything would stop, and they would fix it, and then everything would be okay afterwards. But see, this is the problem. This is the crisis of what's called free trade, even though it's not free trade. It's just outsourcing good middle-class American jobs. The problem with it is the whole purpose was for the business owners, the corporate owners in America to get more and more wealthy. So instead of having to pay somebody who's a factory worker in Detroit, for example, somebody who works in Idaho, instead of having to pay that guy $23 an hour plus dental, they just say, no, let's ship the jobs off to Bangladesh, pay some poor 13-year-old kid 27 cents on the dollar, and make a gigantic profit margin in the process. Now, of course, they also say, well, the prices will be lower here in America, so it works out best for everybody. Except you lost all the jobs in America. So even though the prices are less, more people can't afford them because a lot of them don't have any money at all. And then again, you're also, what really happens is you're just padding the bottom line. They cut the prices a little bit, but they don't, nothing to the point where if they went back to the other way, it would be so cost prohibitive and we wouldn't be able to fund it. They did studies on Walmart and how much more it would cost if they paid everybody in their company a living wage. It would only be, I forget what the exact number was, like 13 cents higher for your average good. For fuck's sake, if you tell me that somebody on the other end of that product who made the product and is selling a product, if you're telling me that the difference between me paying $2 and $2.13 for it is that for the extra 13 cents, somebody gets health care and education, a living wage, you name it, of course I'll pay the extra 13 cents. Most people will pay the extra 13 cents. What are you, crazy? But I think, look, the bottom line is I think we should get rid of NAFTA and GATT and the WTO, and now they're working on the next one, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is even worse. It's like these other trade deals on steroids. Because the end result is you have impoverished workers in third world countries working in slave-like conditions for next to nothing, and you have what used to be good American middle-class jobs totally obliterated, and the only people that actually walk away better off are the people who are the owners of the company.